I started my podcast in the middle of quarantine because I got so sick of seeing all this stuff online, people being so negative and yelling at each other. And I'm like, God dang, how about let's get a little positivity out there? And
Yeah.
what I've noticed is like when I'm getting ready for a trial, I'll do a focus group and I'll bring in a super diverse group of people to serve as a jury. And I tell you, I've done this hundreds of times. Every single time, people get along and they're sitting here debating very, very tough issues. But normal people get along well, it's this kind of political superstructure that
Yes.
gets put above us. I mean, like Rupert Murdoch doesn't make any money if people aren't pissed off. Ted Turner doesn't make any money if people
That's
aren't
right.
pissed off, right? So
It's
there's no
marketing.
money. There's no money in Fox News trying to bring everybody together. You know?
That's right.
So
It goes back to the shock jock era,
yeah,
and those disgusting things get the view.
yeah, that's right. And blood cells, sex
Yes.
cells, that whole concept.
It,
And the
it's sad.
difference nowadays, though, Ed, and I think it's largely been true that there's been fundamental philosophical differences in this country between the quote left and the quote right. The difference nowadays is there's been nuclear fuel poured on top of that because of the way we can be manipulated by these massively powerful algorithms. So, I mean, just your brain, every time you go online, especially when you go like social media, it's your brain versus supercomputers, basically. And these supercomputers are feeding you. Like, I'll just give you one example. Facebook has, I've heard the number, thousands of psychologists and psychiatrists on staff because they want to be able to develop algorithms that manipulate and take advantage of our cognitive biases and some of the weaknesses in how our brain works. And so it's literally your brain. Every time you go on Facebook, it's your brain versus 1,000 PhD psychologists and engineers at Facebook who are trying to make your brain work the way they want it to work. So one example, and this is just one small example, everybody will know exactly what I'm talking about. Ed, if you get a notification that one of your friends tagged you in a picture, you will absolutely look at that, right? And and the social media companies game it to where you can't see the picture unless you actually go to the site. And so that's just one little psychological trick amongst thousands of psychological tricks that they use to manipulate our mind. And of course, manipulating us by making us angry or emotional is a very effective way of getting people to be more engaged with the product. And then when you put on top of that these powerful algorithms and unlimited computing power, it's a losing battle. I mean, the only way to win that battle is not to fight it, essentially, just to stay away from social media as much as you can.